Hello there, welcome back to another video on Enshrouded. Today I'm building this A-frame. I built it for my farmer, but of course, I mean, it's a house. You can use it for any of the NPCs or just as your own house, I guess. It's quite a nice and easy design. It's a little bit sticking out from the roof, but I think I know how to fix that. Got some details here on the back. We got a little chimney out here on the side just to, you know, add a little bit of details to this big roof. And then we got the front porch, which I think looks really nice. We've got some nice little railings and some nice sides to this stair, which I really like the way that turned out with a bit of roof. So farmers chilling out here in the front because we have the overhang, so that allows them to be on the outside. Got a little bit of interior already going on. Probably need to add more, but I'm waiting to unlock more. Got this little edge with roof blocks, which makes it look kind of nice. I think I need to add that here as well to make those things sticking out on the outside go away. And then we got the cozy little fireplace, a little bedroom almost here with some windows in the back. Yeah, quite nice and cozy in my opinion, and I think it turned out quite nice. And if you want to build along, I will show you how I made it. It's relatively simple, of course, but still a fun build to do. Okay, let's get started with some building. I've prepared a little bit of the starting foundations. It's 3 of those big foundation blocks next to each other to get started, and then we're going to continue over here. 1, 2, 3 maybe. Yeah, that seems like it's probably going to be a big enough shape, to be honest, because I'm at least building this as a house for my farmer. I like to build houses for every NPC, but you know, it might be fun houses just to use as your own little starter base or whatever. So I'm using flintstone here at the bottom, and now we're going to use these shingle roof blocks, the tarred variation, as a roof, because we're just trying out some different blocks. And this one looks quite cool, to be honest. Nice black roof panes and yeah, a little nice edge design as well, so definitely a fun one to try out a build with. So we're gonna have a little bit of an overlap on the front and back, just as a way to have some detail in, and as well to be able to have our NPC stand out front or out back, I guess, under the overlap, because it still will count as being inside. So let's just continue this roof all the way across. Relatively easy. But I mean, that is how we're gonna get to the A-frame, and then if everything lines up, we should just be able to add this in. There we go. It's already almost an A-frame. A-frames are usually not the hardest, of course, to make, but I just always like the way they look. And with this roof variation, I definitely think I like this design. I love the little end pieces, the little details on it. And yeah, the little shingles on the roof just look very nice. Okay, so I'm gonna try and add a little chimney here on the side to have a little bit of detail sticking out from the side of the building. So we're gonna just go up with some flintstone with a gap of 2 in between, so we can have the chimney in there at some point. And then hopefully we can make this stick out on the outside in a little bit. It's always a little bit tricky getting the right blocks, because it's sometimes hard to tell with the roof blocks if you're actually removing the one that you want to remove. But I think we're through on the outside, and that's all we need. So we can connect these up and make it look good here on the outside, because that is really what matters right now, making it look good out here. This is the part that we're mostly gonna see. Let's see what way we want to go, because we probably want to make it a little bit thicker, make it actually look like a proper chimney. So probably have the 2 in front of that as well, if we can manage to place the right blocks like so. That should probably be enough for now. So let's make this go up a little bit until we are satisfied with the look of the chimney. It's just a nice and easy way, because I don't think there's actually chimneys in the game that are tall enough that they will go through your roof. But I mean, this is an easy enough way to add in that little detail. I only would love for the smoke actually to come out on top, of course, but you can't win them all, and this at least will allow us to have a little bit of nice detail, especially in a roof as big as ours, because it's this big A-frame. This will really help giving a little bit of detail. And then on the inside, it's going to be fairly easy. We're just going to fill this in later with a little chimney in the middle, a little fireplace, and then it will look probably pretty nice. Like the variation here of the flint stone block. Yeah, one of the fun things about this game, in my opinion, so far has been just to play around with the different build materials and see what they actually end up looking like when you start building with them, because that might sometimes is different than when you're just looking at like a big chunk of them. And that's why I've decided that this starter village is just going to be a chaotic bunch of my creations. So now we're going to use some shroud wood here for the walls, because I really love the texture of the shroud wood. And also just the way it looks. I think it looks a lot nicer than the normal default wood that you have at the start. So I definitely would suggest going for shroud wood instead, especially for walls. Just think it looks a lot nicer. And we're gonna probably have a couple of windows here at the back, because we want to enjoy the view. And at some point I'm probably gonna have the farm out back. So yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense to have it there. And we'll just fill in the rest of this little shape with these 2 remaining triangles. And then we should be done with the main structure. Now we can add in some details and probably try to fix those little overlaps on the outside. But I'm going to add some extra windows here at the back first, because I want to let in some light. And I think this is a pretty nice way to have some light come in and, you know, have some detail on the outside as well. Let's go check it, see what we can do here on the outside. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. Probably we want to add in a few details though. Gonna start with a little edge along the roof, because I found that it's a nice way to add in a little bit of detail. I just don't like the way it tries to connect every single block. That might just be with this roof variation though, because I think when I tried it with... It might be the stone roof. You don't actually get these weird connections. So maybe I should replace these with that instead. For now, we're just going to continue with these. But yeah, if you don't like these connections like I do, you can try maybe the stone roof. See if they don't connect all the way up. Let's see if we can go across like this. I don't think so, because then it will actually turn it into a roof. Would be nice if you could have made like a nice little beam going across the bottom as well. I guess we can't, but we could maybe... No, I don't think shroud would look that good, because then we'll have the same texture as what we had. Maybe just like the flint, have that stick out one at the bottom, just to have a little bit of detail going on there. A little bit of depth adding to this wall. Because, I mean, yeah, we want to use this build system and have some nice details here. I think that works. And then maybe like we'll have some supports underneath. Yeah, I like the way that creates these little dents in the stone. That looks like it's supported. It adds some nice detail. Yeah, I like the look. Like the look of that. I don't know if we can add one under there, because I don't think there is a gap under there. But that already looks pretty nice. Quite simple, but I mean it's an A-frame. You don't have to do too much. Let's see what. I don't know if this would actually look good. No, I think that's too much. Don't want to cover up too much of the wood either. I kind of like the wooden look here, so I'm just going to get rid of that and not use any supports. Maybe what we can do though with some normal wood is add something underneath the windows. Always like that, of a little bit of detail. Almost like there could be some plants or something there. And yeah, it just adds a little bit of detail. Can we do a different material though, maybe? Okay, so I think these half timbered blocks will look way nicer, because they have just a nice texture and shape to them. And yeah, I like the look of that a lot more. Yeah, I think that's all we're gonna do for the back of the build. So let's go and work here on the front. Maybe we can add in a little bit of windows to the side of the door, just to add in some more light on the front as well. I think that would be very nice. And then we can have these little details underneath the windows as well, just to add the depth again a little bit on the front. And then we probably want a little porch going on the front as well. Shouldn't be too difficult to get. Just have it stick out at least underneath the roof, of course, so that we can have the farmer actually being underneath the roof at the front. I kind of like that, because then when you walk by, they will see you, they will react to you. Kind of like the life that will bring to the village. Might extend this a little bit though. Yeah, that seems about right. There we go. Yeah. Should we make it even bigger? Maybe. A little bit bigger would be nice, I guess. A little big front porch that we can actually walk around and the door won't reach until the very end. I think that would make sense, and it's easier to connect to the road as well. We have some space here still in the front, so that should be nice. And then head in some stairs, even though it's not that high of a porch. I think it would be nice at least to have the little edge and the little nice stairs going down. Makes more sense, and we can connect the road up. Actually, what I'm gonna do first, before I place down the stairs, I'm gonna flatten this out a little bit. I'm gonna see if I can spread out the path until we reach it. This might make it look a little bit nicer. There's actually a very good trick trying to use the rake to flatten areas out, because it's an easy way also to spread your roadblocks without having to spend a lot of time collecting a lot of it, because you can actually get quite far. Alright, now if we place back the stairs, it should look a little bit nicer. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. And then probably we also want to make a little railing as well. I think I'm just going to go for the half timbered blocks, to be honest, because I think they look kind of nice. And I also like the way they look when you do these little columns of them. Can we actually fit a railing down here, or will that look a little bit weird? This might be not the perfect place to do this. Not sure if I like it going into the side like this. I think we might have to make the porch a little less wide. I don't like it being this close to the wall and going through the wall almost. Or the roof even. So I think we're going to get rid of one of two of these blocks, just so that we have a little bit more room to play around with. And it's not so crowded and not overlapping, because that doesn't look that good as well. So I think if we do this, we probably can have a nice little bit of railing going on without it looking too weird. It's still quite close. But this probably might... Yeah, this might be acceptable, I guess. Let's do the same on this side. Oh, nope, not like this. Let's do the same on this side as well, so that we have a nice balanced look. Let's see if we are happy with it. That's usually a lot what I do with building. Just trying things out, seeing how I like it. Because sometimes you don't know until you've tried, and you can see the full picture. And it's easy enough to change things in this build system anyway, so you don't really lose much by just giving it a go and trying it out. That's not the place. This is the place. One underneath. Yes. There we go. So we'll make these little railings. I think they look quite nice. It's quite an easy way to do them. I know there's normal fences in the game as well, but yeah, I don't always like the look of those. And I think this actually makes for a pretty decent rail. And I think if we add some shroud wood at the edge here, that will look even nicer. Just a little change up to the porch, but I think it will be worth it in the end. Let's see if we can fit it in underneath here as well, and just connect it all up and have the last little layer of the porch being shroud wood instead. There we go. That's the porch all done, I think. I think that looks quite nice. Got a little windows, got a little room at the porch to do some stuff. And we might actually want to add in some details along this staircase as well, just to make it look a little bit nicer. So we'll start off with some shroud wood. Then we'll place some roof blocks actually on top of them, because didn't quite go as high as I would have liked it to go. Maybe if we place the roof blocks... Nope, that definitely doesn't work. That's not too bad, but I'd like it to be a little higher, I think. So maybe we do need these shroud blocks after all. The shroud wood. And what happens if we place it a little bit further? Yeah, I think that works. I just want something that looks a little bit more like a railing. And I think these definitely add something to make it look a little nicer, a little bit more detailed. It's basically the roof pieces that we used for the main roof as well. But they just make these little nice edges or railings when they're on the end of the roof, I guess. So we got a lot of space on the inside. I probably want to go along the edges here again to add in these little beams of support and a little bit more detail on the inside as well. So I'll do that on both sides as well. And actually, whilst I'm at it, I'll do it on the front, of course, on the outside as well, because it just looks nice and it also gets rid of the little bit of overlapping on the outside that we still had on the roof. Now it should all work. Let's fix these little corners maybe. I don't know if we can fix that. And there we have it. My little A-frame all done and completed. Mostly the outside, of course. I think it turned out pretty nice. I like a good A-frame, and I think this definitely does the trick. Definitely need to also work on my interiors though, with getting more details in there, more variations. But to be honest, I don't want to spend too much time on this little starter village, because it's basically just a place for me to try out some new things before I move on to bigger and better projects out in the world on cool locations. I got the first one lined up to start on this weekend. But yeah, I like the way we did the front porch. Or hunter, or farmer, I mean, is just chilling out here on the porch, which is also quite nice. And we've got some nice details in here, but definitely a lot of space still left to do. Like this little beam that we have going on, which fixes the outside roof, and then this little divider in the middle to have an extra room at the back. A nice little cozy. If you enjoyed this video, of course, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more cool Enshrouded builds, and then hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.